Guys, are we ready to begin? It looks like you guys are, so hit the intro. Chat, hello, thank you for joining your professor today. I am Professor Bodhi, aka Mr. Bonny John. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on this Friday. Now, normally I take Fridays off, however, I missed yesterday. I went to Buc-ee's here in Florida. It was a good time, it was a short trip, but it was enough to knock me out, and I was with friends and had to catch up on maybe a video that might be releasing this weekend. Hello Gabby, welcome in. Good to see you. Chill Bill has made it. Hello, hello. Late Languidus, hello to you. Monster Artist, welcome. And Seals, yo. Guys, I apologize for starting a little late. I also had another happenstance, is what I'll say. That's all been sorted out and taken care of. So looking at the thumbnail and then also the name of today's stream, I want to keep it kind of short and sweet today. I do want to get back to working on this content for you. Hello Sketch, good to see you. Welcome in, welcome in. So chat, oh my god, my beard is an absolute mess. Just ignore it, okay? So guys, I was looking at all my Potempo designs, and hello Zach, and we have a lot of Potempo. As usual, as I continue to develop them on stream, I'm finding more and more things that I learn about the decks as a whole, inspiration for my creatures, and so I think it seems right then that we jump into the compendium, of which I've been readjusting. A lot of the 3 stages that were over here have been brought down to 2 stage, and it's gonna be really cool. Hello Cole, welcome in, welcome in. Happy to be here, happy to have you. I have a lot of 2 stage lines, and at the end of the day, you do want to have more 2 stage lines because that's what's going to fill out this game world, right? Not every stage, as many as that I want to have 3 stages, they can't all have 3 stages, right? What would happen is there's going to be less world diversity if that were the case. Fortunately, there's going to be a lot of option for the players, right? So looking at a few of the 2 stage lines, right? On the left, you'd have your creatures like this guy right here, this pigeon, this little rock creature, and they'll split evolve, right? So this one would evolve into this plague rat. This one could also evolve into a plague doctor. And then in this case, and I think I'm going to make this the carbuncle. This carbuncle can evolve into this ice giant, or it can evolve into the fire giant. So there will be a nice time to look and reflect and see maybe some other 3 line creatures need to be brought down to 2. Conversely, I have these stages, for example. Here's this mushroom becomes a singular one, and then it can either evolve into this cordyceps or into the fairy ring. And then over here, I'm gonna have to do another 2 lines here. Here you have this one bird that'll evolve into a rainbow crow that either splits into a peacock or a harpy. So I have plenty of cryptids, yes. That looks amazing. Thank you, Gabby, and hello, Dr. Crowbar. Zach writes here, it's important to have diversity, help each one stand. Exactly. And I feel like if I have more and more 3 stages, it just kind of removes the strength that they would have, right? The bird turns either into a rat or a bird reminds. Yeah, and that's something that I wanted to do, where I love that about Digimon designs, that it's random, but understandably, sometimes it's a little too random. Here, for example, this is, I think, a great example where, and my first stages all have masks and whatnot. You kind of know it's a monkey with like the strange tiger tail, but it becomes a Nue, which is this Japanese yokai. And then it splits either into a Sun Wukong inspired creature, or it evolves into a Rakshasa, which is a Hindu demon. I'm not feeling sleepy. Good, good, good. Love the Krypton's art. So yay, that's great to hear. I'm glad. I can't wait to continue to build art and keep building the style and the look feel. But chat, as I was saying, I need to do some upkeep. right? What does that mean? What does housekeeping mean? And that simply means that as I continue to develop out what Potempo is, it just reminds me that it's still under development, and that when I first started, my creatures, as you can see here, they didn't have the masks. So what I'm going to do... Hello everybody! Hello Draco, good to hear you're feeling better. Good, good, good. The original 151 were all 3 stage lines at the start. They wouldn't have an opportunity to be brought back into the spotlight. Exactly. And I've already thought about many of my Potempo that can have, for example, my Jack-o'-lantern line, the 2 Jacks, right? Jack Frost, which would be a winter set, and then a Jack-o'-lantern Scarecrow set will both get Evos in a potential game too. And it just, yeah, gives them a chance to develop a little bit by being something that might not get a second chance here, right? The Kelpie and Nessie love, nice, good, good, good. Is there going to be a singlet stage? There's only one creature, and I'm going to start bringing in lines because I'm going to start redeveloping a few. That's what today's direction is going to be on this Friday. I want to make sure that everybody feels consistent. So if all the first stage have masks, this guy's going to need a mask. And I think what I'd rather like, if the Aklut is this killer orca whale type of thing, and I just spilled my tea. Cool, cool, cool. I just spilled my tea, chat. Rest in peace to me. I get it. It's all gone. All over the floor. But you know what? I'll let that rock and take care of it another time. I'm gonna do something crazy. Let's get a little bit. We're gonna take this and mix it with our tea bag because we're different. Wolf Orca looks awesome. Thank you, thank you. It's one of my all-time favorite designs. But listen, that said, I think what I want to do for my Aklut stage, right, or the Aklut, is I think I want the first stage to be a fish who evolves into a wolf, who the sum of all its parts. Rest in tea. Well said. Hello to our mod, Gym Later JC. What up, what up? Welcome in, my man. This is not a drill, it's true. It's all chat. It's all over here. And I'm just gonna let it sit. It's just carpet, and you know what? Accidents happen, but it's about how you move forward. Yes, we need more likes indeed. So, I like to say that Potempo, when people ask me, just a couple days ago, the very talented Ryoma Art hopped in, and he said, Bonnie, what's the direction of Potempo? How do you go about designing? And I said, well, the notion of the look feel, right, is something that's being developed. But what I always say about Potempo designs, especially as they continue to develop, is that I want the final form to essentially be the sum of all of its parts, right? So if I make this is a cute little, you know, husky little thing, but it's not a very interesting first stage form. I like giving my Potempo, especially the baby forms, it makes it consistent if they're all wearing masks, right? Thematically and story-wise, there's a reason. The totem virus, it's totemifying all monsters. Well, I do have a virus that will potentially be inspired by the xenomorph, so please stay tuned for that. Maybe I'll do that next week. Hello, Austral. Welcome in, welcome in. So, yeah, chat. I'm going to start developing out some fun concepts and designs here. And it just gives me a chance to, again, look through many of my older designs, right? So I have a scrapped design page, which has all these cool creatures, and some are going to come back, some aren't. A fish-styled mask for a wolf is not a bad idea at all. I want to make it a fish just because, again, if the Aklut, as far as mythology, is an orca who could be on the land, right? It's a hybrid orca and a whale. I like that stage 1 is a fish, it becomes a wolf, and then the end result is a fusion of the two. There's something fun about that. And that is the spirit of Potempo. In fact, I would say this is kind of the perfect time to bring this guy in, because I made these guys, and he's going to need a mask. I'm going to move the bear aside, and since that's a 2-stage, it's not as important to like set up the through line. But I think I'm going to make the owl the first stage for that bear. Conversely, I could do the bear and give him an owl mask, but then that kind of makes him a baby owl bear who becomes a bigger owl bear, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather have him either be a bear who becomes an owl bear or an owl who becomes an owl. And I feel like seeing that jump from an owl that stands up onto legs with wings who becomes this bigger bear-like creature is more impactful as far as a jump, right? So yeah, today is going to be, here's another guy who's going to need a mask. I'm going to base this guy actually on another kind of worm. I'll see if there are other worm mythologies, and you guys have been wonderful researchers for your assistant, Professor Bodhi here. So what if it's a porpoise, or a porpoise with dog-like features? It could be, but yesterday we were already having trouble finding dolphin-themed mythologies. Welcome in, Kofi. So like how Yamas holds the mask until cough egregious. In a way, yeah. The preview for the wolf orca could be based on the fur. Dude, it's so funny you said that, because I literally have that here. I have literally marked that in my Potempo guide page. So glad you read my mind. It's yet another mythology that kind of works perfectly for my little series. So let's get started. We're gonna make the fur-bearing trout the focus. Great job. That's such a good read. I literally have it in my Potempo Excel page. So I'll show you the rumored mounted fur-bearing trout. It's displayed here in the National Museum of Scotland. Here we go. It looks like that. It's a silly little creature, kind of cute. Now, chat, I'm gonna read our Wikipedia. Can't believe I really just put Pepsi Zero with this tea bag. I'm not like the other guys. Be careful. Salute to the weekend, chat. I hope you have a wonderful chat. Hope you have a wonderful stream today. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this out here. Yo, what's up, Deeves? It's been so long. Hope you've been well. But Jombus is here. Wait, where's the Jombus part? But Jombus is awesome. This is Aberystwyth calling. How's everyone doing? Hello, Shady. Welcome in. What is Aberystwyth? And I also want to know who well, I'm Bajombus. But I'm not sure where the Jombus part's coming. That's kind of fire. That reminds me of the Kushtak or land otterman, are mythical shape-shifting otter-like creatures. Ooh, I really like that. That is another cool jumping off point for sure. Bonnie, quick question. Are you planning on taking your scrap designs and put them in an art book? I think for sure I would love to put anything that doesn't make it into a potential art book for sure for Potempo. That fish is sheeping, indeed. I seen that last week. Hammerhead worm could be cool for the giant worm. The totem head would be cool shape. That's the kind of research that I like my students to be doing. Clearly your scientific name. Thieves, how are you? It's been so long. Remember to like the stream. Indeed, thank you, Andy, as always, asking for chat to like. Good stuff, chat. You guys are wonderful. So, salute to you. Aberystwyth is a town in Wales, home to Aberystwyth University. Where, okay, pop off, Shady. Oh man, it's hot. It was hot tea in here. So I had the tea bag and I put the Pepsi in, but I guess it still had heat in the tea bag, so it's warm as hell. I'm still alive. I'm glad. I hope you stay alive for a long time, buddy. I need you. Oh, disgusting shit. Fur-bearing trout, or the furry trout, is a legendary creature found in American folklore and Icelandic folklore. According to the folklore, the trout has created a thick coat of fur to maintain its body heat. Tales of furry fish date to the 17th century and later the shaggy trout of Iceland. The earliest known American publications from a 1929 Wildlife Montana magazine article by J.H. Hicken. Taxidermy furry trout produced by Ross J.C. Job is a specimen at the Royal Museum of Scotland. It's a trout with white fur ingeniously attached. Ingenuously? Whatever. There are no known examples of any Okay. So it's just going to be a very cute, simple one. Just scripted a video. Listen, sometimes, chat, you need to take a break. Be like Thebes, be like me a couple months ago where we forced ourselves to take break. As creative, it's hard to do, right? You just feel like, damn, I gotta keep going. Artists are no longer content creators, right? Like, I'm creating videos for you guys for this weekend. I'm gonna take all of that time spent, take those 4 art that I do, you're getting 5 designs, and I'm gonna put them on my Instagram for you guys to swipe and like in a second and move to the next thing. Since it's Friday, can I dance in class? Of course you can. Hello, welcome in, Oni. Do you have a Patreon? We'd love to support to you. I do have a Patreon. It's at www.patreon.com/MrBonnyJohn. There's no crazy kind of thing that I give you guys. It's all only from the goodness of your heart. If you have money to spare, do no pressure. It's more like a tip jar is how I look at it. This fish should go get a haircut and get some waves. Yeah, my boy would look crispy with some waves. There's another Icelandic critter, the reverse fin trout. Ambush predator can use its fin in a similar way to legs to launch itself out of reed beds. Ooh, we might have to add some... Wait, that would be cool too. Actually, I feel like that would be better than the furry trout. I mean, it both works, right? So, okay, let's get to drawing, chat. Let's get to drawing. So we have, again, this was an early take on, and this is before I really, and you know, this is the importance of sometimes just taking ideas out of your brain, putting them on a screen, and then just letting it sit, right? It needs to gestate, right? 24 people, welcome in, you sexy cutie pies. Yeah, buddy, I think you should get a Ko-fi if you don't have one. I think I do. I just don't want to manage too many things. I just want to create, you know? Anyone who wants to be on my part of my ride, I just appreciate you no matter what. You know that. So, I looked at this, and I had a baby wolf and it becomes a bigger wolf. That's boring, right? Or funny how the furberry, yeah, it's cute. It's funny. And I think that's exactly how I want to do the totem head for this guy. So, here's the cool part. There's going to be plenty of canids that's going to be in my game. If he doesn't work for this design, so be it. You know what I mean? He can come back in different ways. Well, actually, you know what? This guy has to be brought back because I'm going to put the seaboard with the mermaid. Thing is, I might want to make another siren attempt. I think that'd be really cool now that I've got like the look feel down, you know? But I do like the seaboard too because I don't have a proper boar. Siren can come back in a new game. A fish mask, we shall see. Why not make it like a form change thing? The fur be like reeds that it carries around with it. Reeds? How does that? What does that mean exactly? Like prayer beads? Fish mask. You need to make a schedule specifically now that you're starting to get a following. Yeah, I try to do consistently 6:30 Monday through Thursday. I mentioned on my Discord that something happened, so that's why I'm a little late today. You mind explaining the totem heads? Of course I can. And chat. I want you guys to also educate our new viewers. They're your brethren. They're your classmates. I want you to always welcome in the new folk and be kind to them. And so just pick up where I leave off while I start designing. But the totems are basically, Potempo are spirits, right? They're not like Pokemon in a way where like Pokemon are part of the environment, right? They very much evolve in a way that... oh, okay, like Charizard grew wings at some point, and that's why he's got wings, and he breathes fire because of this reason through his habitat. Like, that's how maybe a lot of the types and stuff might be. And the way I see it is, you know what, I'm going to keep this guy kind of simple. And that's the fun part. Having totems, so because they're spirits, what happens is it gives me a lot of leeway, right? Fish Potempo can be floating in the air. They don't need to be awkward like Pokemon who are in the water and they need to swim, right? um, they because they come from another world, right, or another plane of existence, so to speak. The notion would be that the totems kind of hide who they are. The totem helmets or masks that every single first stage has. Not only is this from a design and creative point of view something helpful in helping me keep a brand to Potempo, I want people to look at Potempo and be like, that's Bonny John's designs, right? I've seen a lot of Pokemon monster tamer inspired kind of stuff. Naturally, I myself am inspired by that, of course. Obviously, love Pokemon. It's my entire childhood. I still love it to this day. But I've seen a lot of those kind of games and concepts, and they still feel like Pokemon, for better or for worse. Sometimes people want more Pokemon, and if it has a different name, no problem. I want to do something different, visually and otherwise. So, oh, and you know what's thing is, the face is hidden by these totems, by these masks. And why that's important is because they're from another world, and I want players, when they, for example, maybe find this fish-bearing trout inspired Potempo, I want them to be like, what the heck is this? I know it's a fish. What is it setting up? And that by the end, when you've evolved your creature, okay, it's a furry fish who became a wolf, who becomes the Aklut, this orca that can walk on land, that I'm designing. And that's an important thing about mythology. It's like learning how to pay respect to the original mythos, but also I want to be able to, oh, isn't this interesting, chat? Where I have the fur popping out of the front, and it kind of looks like teeth. Isn't that a cool little coincidence? It's fur, but it looks like teeth. Which is cool because guess what? The orca is an apex predator. It's got a lot of teeth. It is a carnivore. It destroys anything in front of it. This faux fur sets up the orca in a fun way. It's a cute fish, but then, because it's got these, just fur in the front. But it's not really fur. It's teeth coming along. Sometimes you stumble upon some nice accents. Fish wolf. Exactly right, Chillbill. I'm doing pretty good. Just got off of work and had a picnic. Ooh! You love to hear that with my wife and daughter. Man, you know what? That is some beautiful stuff. You love to hear it. Referring to the reverse fish chan and the fur trout, give the fur trout that can launch it out of a fake coat made from reeds to attack prey. I think that might be too much for my taste. That sounds a little more like Pokemon for me. Do you have any little kids in your life, Bonnie? I'm sure if you heard a 5-year-old can draw it and you can still tell if the design that it's a perfect design. I have 2 godsons that I love more than life themselves, but they are too young to draw anything. But the fins look like paws. It could, but I don't know if it needs to. That's sick. Sorry, I grabbed the wrong end of the stick. Yeah, so let's keep the furry fish very simple. Remember, this is stage 1. It just needs to be simple, right? I can do some fun stuff here where on the totem, right, a lot of the personality for these creatures, it comes from even their face paint, right? For my domains, I'm still trying to figure out color and graphic design and all that kind of stuff. It could very well simply be that, different domains may have different face paint. Like different tribes, Tribes would be an awesome word for the domains. Like, what tribe do you belong to? I like domain quite a bit as well. But here we go. You know what? Maybe I can just add tufts of fur that pop out here as well. And you know what? Screw it. Let's have every part of this fur, of this fish, be furry, and I'll make it this nice kind of like peachish kind of color, or if not peach, like this light tan, which will be this very inoffensive fluffy looking color, right? To me, I'm also not I don't necessarily feel like I need to make every design feel super linked together. You know? I think as long as the ideas, once you get to the end, land, that's cool. Now, as I say every stream chat, I may very well change the, you know, what's the word? The tune of my flute or whatever. You know, by the time I get around to finalizing these second passes and then soon the third and final passes. But that's a problem for future volume. Now, chat, I'm looking at my wolf. What cool wolf mythos can I add on top of my current wolf? Right now, it's kind of a wolf. We don't really have a husky Pokemon, so a husky Potempo would also be really cool. It's not super necessary to make anything too crazy. But it's nice to have. This looks like a lamprey, a jawless fish. Even better, even better. My dog got stuck in a box. I really like this idea, but I think it's better for a cat Potempo. Why do you say that? Let's hear your reasoning. Wolves howl, werewolves, and the moon effects. Fenrir, Skull, and Hati, Norse, the moon. Zawarudo. I make the wolf like a moon doggy, you mean? And yeah, the cool part is, I can design a ton of these smaller mythos, right? Fur-bearing trout, that reverse fin creature. And I know I can fit them with a whole bunch of other stuff. Any region is fine. I want to start leaning away from Japanese because I have a ton of Japanese mythos. Is there like a moon wolf? Oh, I guess, yeah, Skull and Hati do run towards like the moon, right? That would be so clutch. Oh, you know what's cool is like the fur lining is also something that like would keep, you know, and again, according to the lore, it would keep the fish warm. So for, you know, the auklet, which is this creature that jumps into, you know, off of glaciers into cold water, it's kind of a fun connection that it needs to stay warm because it lives in the Arctic, you know? Cats often get into boxing, something that cats often eat. Become a cat is very funny. I could see that, but I think it still tracks for my vision right now. I look up fish wolf, but it's just an action. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. I've seen that. Well, it's not a wolf, but the Polish legend about the northern lights being painted by a foxtail. I have that creature coming up for another 2-stage line. So it's funny you bring that up. I like what Deebs is saying, that wolves howl at the moon, and the moon affects the tides, where this creature comes from the water at nighttime in particular. So it might have to be Hati, right? Or Skull? Yeah, I love cryptids too. I knew I wanted to make mythology and cryptids like a focal point for my character design. I think the fish works for any fur creature. I agree. Skull and Hati chase the moon and sun respectively. So I might have to make this Skull. Right? So this could be Skull. Fur-bearing trout. If there's a regional form for this line, perhaps it could be based on Amarok or Adlet. You'll have to tell me what those are. Native American folklore has a number of cryptids, that's true. And when you do find, if you guys are looking up Native American folklore, be sure to look up Native American cultures that aren't closed off. For example, the Wendigo is from a culture that closes off, and I want to respect their wishes. That's very important to me. Even, you know, I myself being Indian, there are some concepts that I don't really want to touch because, you know, Hinduism is a gigantic source for religious peace, and you want to respect a very active culture, right? Because I could design something, but if it's actively something that people worship and believe in, I'm trying to be respectful. That's me personally. Right? There's a right and wrong way to handle things like this. All right, this is a fun little design. He's very cute. And, something that I always say about Potempo is in its name, Potempo, potential. I could see in another region, this guy straight up evolves into a cat, right? He could evolve into something else. Like, there's so much, and the cool part is I get to make the rules as I go. So, wards could work. They're a fantasy creature that are giant wolves that are usually associated with orcs. There are a few Native American stories where wolves howling to communicate with the spirit world. I actually had an idea for Potempo that starts as an otter that could work. Ooh, an otter would be really cute too. Amarok is a large frost-bearing wolf, and the Adlet is a... Ooh, I like Amarok as a concept then. Amarok. I won't design those guys on this stream, because I do want to do a lot of my babies, my first form Potempos today, since there's a few I have to touch, but feel free to leave all your suggestions, chat. I appreciate it. The shark can move like a mudskipper when it's trying to chase the moon if it goes on land. It's probably just floating. It could be cute if it's bouncing around too. There's plenty of ways to animate it. Skinwalkers are definitely not. Skinwalkers, aka Wendigos, are not. Hello, Astral. Welcome in, welcome in. So, cool. We have the fur-bearing. And see, look, obviously, chat, look. I love dogs. You all know this. That's basic design. And, we don't have a Pokemon that's a husky, so people would still be happy to see it. But this fits better for the line. It's a mythological creature. It's interesting. Obviously, it's a first pass, so of course, Drake, of course. I will add that to the compendium. So, again, I think this Potempo is a perfect example point where its evolution line, a fur-bearing trout who becomes a wolf, who becomes a hybrid orca wolf, the Aklut, right? It just writes itself. It's very easy to understand. It feels like Digimon and it feels like Pokemon. Guess what? Two of my favorite things. So at the end of the day, inspiration comes from what we knew in the past, right? What we grew up on. What about the Jersey Devil? I don't have the Jersey Devil. I do have a Mothman that I want to put in my game that'll be basing off of my Repolar design. Amarok and Adlet are in the Native American mythos. Okay, definitely check out for me if they're open. In Celtic mythology, wolves were seen as a powerful symbol of the moon and also associated with transformation. Nice. Anything in particular looks-wise that I can draw on? I think I can draw something that make a skinwalker work. Also, Skull and Hati. And Fenrir are also considered wargs. Okay. It could simply be, I have this Dogi because is like pure white like the moon. And then when it evolves, I like that jump where it gets all that black that covers into it, like the night covering the moon or something. You know what I mean? Visually. With the Navajo, I have a lot of sacred beliefs. Yeah, even saying, the W word is a major no-no. It's giving strength to those creatures, which is why they don't really want it used outside of their culture, right? Okay, so very cool. We got Skull and Amarok. In fact, I'll mark that in my Potempo notes. Chat, do you guys want to see... I have my next video coming out. I don't want to show a new Pokemon. You're going to get 5 designs in this video. You're welcome. Do you guys want to see... I'm not going to show you a new one. But... do you want to see maybe progress on... I'll let you choose. You can either choose to see the Spinda, like the near finished product evolution, or the Love Disc evolution. Hello, welcome in, Toon. go ahead, chat, and just, I'm not going to put a poll, but type in Spinda or Love Disc, and whoever gets more votes, I'll show you the progress I have. All the designs are almost done, but I figure I'll give you guys a little tease as, you know, joining up. Yeah, absolutely. When's the video coming out? Ideally Sunday. I want to see if I can get it out by Sunday. I'll let y'all type your answers in while I get my housekeeping done on my side. Here we go. So it's going to be Skull and Amarok. Skull, Amarok. Yeah, this makes this line a lot stronger. Gen 3 is winning regardless. Spin dash would work. I think they can make an interesting evolution. I have a 6 spin. It looks like Spinda wins. Hold on, let me see. Love Disc, Spinda. Both doesn't count. Rui. Hell yeah, Love Disc 2. Spinda 3, 4. Love Disc is at 2, 5. Yeah, let's do Spinda. Y'all eating good. Because I kind of went with my Discord prompt, which I want you guys to be well underway. We're 10 days into it, so anyone who's participating in, your professor is now officially reminding you, get to work if you're participating. So the Spinda name that I have is... I'm not telling you the name, but... the Spinda, yeah, the name that I gave this Evo is really good. So yeah, I don't mind giving you a tease because you still have 4 designs coming up. Ready, chat? This is for you. This is from your Professor Bodhi, who loves you very, very, very much. Okay. There he goes. Our little drunken fist boxer. So there's a few things that I want to adjust here, but he's coming out pretty damn great. Very cute. And now you have 4 more to come. You guys know one of them. It's Love Disc. You guys don't know the other 3. Pogo Pogo. It's a fire name. My own project, I use a lot of Yoruba, but I'm not directly using any gods. An Eluga in my home. What is an Eluga? Can you teach me about that? So Potempo line is based off of the Norse dwarven brothers. Starts as Otter, a dwarf who shape-shifted as well, an otter. The next stage would be Mole, which could be based off Norse dwarves. Oh, yeah, I turned in my submission early. Good man. Is it just me or is the bird train looking like a cactus? It's a first pass. I just need to get the concept down. And I like that he's rough and tumble. He'll look fluffy and cute at the end for sure. Would a water panther work for this? It's Native American water spirit. I do have a water panther coming up. Don't worry. Yo, that looks so good. Thank you. Hello, Rack. Welcome in. Drunken Fist? Exactly. No, not getting drunk, much like the real martial artist never actually got drunk, okay? So I'm not giving my Spinda fermented shuckle juice or anything, okay? Don't even think about it. He's just in a perpetual cycle. Okay, so we've got that down. Next, I think it's time. I like this. Simple. Snake into goat into lion, the sum of all of its parts, baby. Nice and easy. All right. So that'll be the next one we work on. Now, this is yet another design, chat, where I designed it very early, hence why it doesn't have a Potempo face mask. However, it's just a snake. Oh shit, I put it over the other snake. Alright, no worries. What kind of snake can we make this mythology based off just to give them a little bit of oomph? Even when I look at this design, it definitely needs a lot of work. I think I'll design these guys again on stream at some point because this is such an early concept where, again, I'm trying to find the look feel, right? I think it'll really be great when I give it a proper pass. So a long time ago, Dingus Joe gave me the name or the concept of this one silly snake who kind of rolls around I feel like I could use that for something. Maybe not this line, but we definitely need a face mask and a potential connection. Now, he's got like this Spartan kind of concept here, which I just did to just kind of like give it something. It could be that. It could be a Potempo face mask that looks like, you know, even its shape is pretty straightforward, right? Let's go ahead and we'll add and again, I really love the masks because it not only adds to the story of the world, right? Who are these Potempo? Where do they come from? Well, they come from another plane. We don't know much more than that. I do. You don't. And at the end of the day, chat, thing is, they are strangers in our world. It feels almost natural and right that they're trying to protect their identities and they're scared, or maybe we can't even fathom them entirely, right? But the point of being a Potempo, not trainer, but maybe a Potempo guide would be an amazing word. I really like that word a lot. To be a Potempo guide, which kind of works, right? Because they're mostly spirits. It's your job to unlock their potential by getting in sync, finding a tempo, Potempo. And I really believe that when it comes to the helmet, it is a great visual representation of a creature that's closed themselves off to you, right? They might be scared of being in this world, but as you help them reach their potential by helping them evolve, they break through. They get rid of the masks, right? Masks are used what? To hide, right? In a masquerade, it adds a sense of mystery and almost a sense of lust, right? When you see a beautiful woman in a mask cross the room. Maybe if you're a vigilante, you're wearing a mask to strike fear in the hearts of villains, right? Case in point, Batman. In the case of other superheroes, a mask protects their identity so that they can't be traced for their actions, so they can protect their families, right? So maybe the Snake Potempo could have this Spartan kind of mohawk, which does add a lot to the silhouette, because a snake is a very simple kind of creature, right? It's very hard to get any sort of unique shape for a snake naturally. And again, another really cool thing is, look, this creature whose face is being hidden, it adds so much mystery, chat. Doesn't it not? We can tell it's a snake, but we're like, there's still like, I still don't know what exactly it is, because like its face is missing, and having just the eyes visible adds this thing where all of a sudden we get a glimpse at who it is underneath. And so then if you were to pick or find this chimera rather, and it starts off as a snake and it evolves into a goat, you're like, what the hell? When it finally evolves into a lion, you get to see snake, goat, lion, chimera, the sum of all of its parts. Perfect. Okay. Let's see over here. Let me guess, Charizard, and for Verity, Charizard. And Draco finishes off. The finale stage would be based off Fafnir, the dwarf who turned into a dragon due to his greed. I love that. That's a really fun concept. The Beast of Bodmin Moor is a folklore creature from England, a large black cat-like creature that can seemingly... Ooh, I'll mark that down on the side for sure. Because I do have a few cats, so I have Kate Seath from the Celtic mythology at the very least. Of Bodmin Moor. Sounds very European. I'll say The Serpent of Asclepius. So remember, I need you guys, when you tell me these suggestions, tell me about them visually. Because Serpent of Asclepius sounds like a hella cool name, but I don't know how I could fold that design-wise. There are snakes with horns. The Horned Viper. Alugua is a god or deity that opens the living world to your ancestors. That's beautiful. Usually a coconut or a little stone with a face. He's one of the oldest of worship, but he's a child. And you're thinking of doing otter-based Potempo, Kushtaka, and Dobar Chu. Thank you for that. Kushtaka. And you know, I'll obviously do research on some of these guys on my own outside. But Homolopsis buccata, the masked water snake. In Australian folklore, there's a represent deity of god of rainbow. See, now the thing is, I also want to I want to choose concepts that fit the line where they're at, right? So for example, the rainbow god serpent in Australian folklore sounds amazing, but it would be kind of disrespectful for me to make something of that level in a mythology the baby form. I'm not against making, say, smaller concepts land in a way where, you know, like for example, the fur-bearing trout is kind of a meme mythology, right? It's kind of a meme cryptid. It's okay to make that the first stage one, right? Ooh, you know what? I could do a marking, the face mark over here. Could be like a split tongue, you know? And it almost kind of makes a mouth too, which is cool. Or the Mercedes-Benz logo. Your choice. But yeah, those are ways to add personality, right? And this could be like... I guess this could be wood as well. And then I take the red and I'm going to make it kind of like a painterly kind of red. That's the top. Okay, Kukulkan, the Mayan serpent god. So Kukulkan, right? He's also such a powerful deity that I wouldn't want to make him a first stage character, right? Seeing a snake and ram side by side, could it have become a chimera? It does become a chimera, right here. Where it's a lion with goat horns, excuse me, goat hooves, you know, the strength of a lion in its overall gesture with its mane, and then the under half is entirely a snake and goes all the way down, which is very cool. Could be based Amphisbena, two-headed snake, both head at each end of its body. Oh, I think it was also born from Medusa. That might be a very fun one to do for Medusa line, which I do want to do in Gen 2. 100%. So I'll mark down Amphisbena. Two-headed snake. Cora, Celtic snake goddess. My daughter's favorite animal are cobras. The echidna works well as the mother of the chimera. Very true. I'm getting strong spectrobes vibe from some of these. I mean that as a compliment, trust me. Nice. I never got to play spectrobe, so I would love for you to expand on that more so I know what that means exactly, but thank you. Versus a group of third-party D&D books called An Elf and an Orc Had a Baby. Ooh, that's fire. Imagine the chimera Potempo is just a banana turning into a cricket, then a pig, and then a goat. That's a little too random for my taste tune. People that don't like rubbery tactility, they won't like Potempo's evolutions. Yeah, but here's the thing. They don't like that because Pokemon themselves have set up their own rules. When people come to Potempo, they know that this is a different game and concept. So while they don't like that for Pokemon, they may still not like it for Potempo, but at the very least, what we call is that in the art world is expectations, right? Pokemon has done a wonderful job of teaching their gamers, their audience, yeah, when you play a Pokemon game, when the thing evolves, it usually becomes this bigger version creature. It might have similar colors, might be a similar animal, at the end of the day, and I've said this on stream many times, that is a more than fine evolution. Just because a gun, or rather, excuse me, a remoraid evolving to an octopus doesn't make sense, sure, from that sense of design, but it's actually a water gun becoming a water cannon. So the through line still hits. It's just that Pokemon expectations, which they taught us, didn't meet for those players, and it throws them off. That's why they believe it's a bad design. Hello, your daily. Welcome in. You're welcome in. Cool looking snake. Thank you very much. Kushitaka is a shape-shifting otter man in North American folklore, and Dobar Chu, otter dog. Ooh, okay. I have Kushitaka marked over here. So I'll put... Yeah, because I have a few creatures that might be one of the only 3 split line. And one side is cat and the other side is a dog. And so I'm going to put like otter in one and then ferret in the other, potentially. Large. Some of the evolution lines and spectrums are outright insane. For example, the Owie line starts out hummingbird and ends up as an avian luchador. Oh, I like that. I like those. To me, that's really fun. Thinking on snake stuff, my brain definitely runs to the Genbu. Probably not good for an early stage, but still cool beat since it's one of the cardinal beasts. Byakko, Suryu, Suzaku, Genbu. Does the mask affect on their evolution? Because it's like Digimon, some evolves with certain add up. Opinion on ketchup mixed with mayonnaise? Ding, ding, ding. I like that. The mask... Again, the mask is more a symbolic thing that's saying, like, I'm hiding because I'm scared, and my friendship with you will be the thing that opens me up figuratively and literally. Now, I do want to, when I get around to designing many of these second stage kind of creatures, or second pass, I do want to have more visual connections between the line. But, you know, I keep going back and forth on it. Sometimes I do want it to feel random. Other times, I don't. You know? I'll just have to kind of feel it out at some point, you know? And just because they all have masks doesn't mean that they can't be cool looking and interesting masks, you know? Are you remaking your own type? Yes, I've talked about this on stream before. They'll be called domains. I don't want to go too much into it because I've gone into it many times already. So if chat wants to explain it, they can. And then I can clarify from there. So I think the snake redesign is, again, redesign is a stretch. You know what I don't like? I was originally, again, liking the idea of the split tongue, but it's not like you're really going to see it. It could be something more. And again, that would be like paint, right? Or Kubaku, which starts as a few object-like beings and ends up as a fighter jet. Hell yeah. I mean, I love that. People who like Pokemon are going to hate most of the real-world evolution. Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. The Chimera is so cool. Are going to put the snake tail in the ram? I might. Again, it's something that I'm learning as I go about, like, and still trying to figure out the direction of Potempo, right? If I want it to be more like Pokemon, and I might have to as a designer, and like, of course, pay respect to one of my all-time favorite franchises, but I want to see if I can do it my own way. In the way of Miles Morales, I'm gonna do my own thing. And if I can make it that they're 3 separate creatures, yet still connected, I would love that. I think that would still be cool that the final design is always the sum of its parts. Torga line, unicycle bumps, and demon bowl truck. Tobaros. Isn't K&A's? Oh my god. Isn't ketchup and mayonnaise just Marie Rose sauce? I've never heard that name for it. I've heard KO chup. I've heard of pink sauce, which I think is a little different. The headpiece for the snake live on in other designs. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Ketchup and mayo is called fry sauce from where I'm from. You know something odd. I definitely am interested in the whole Spartan design to the hop of the mask. It's just kind of a placeholder for now because, you know, the Chimera is like kind of a Greco-Roman type of concept. So that's just kind of one way to just add interest to the line, right? We'll see what sticks and what doesn't. But that's what today's design stream is for. Where I'm going back some of my earliest Potempo and you know, just keeping them in line, right? Because the totem masks are a very important part for all the first stages. Even, and they can be done in fun ways, right? In this jelly one, the totem mask is inside the jelly body. This one, for example, has like kelp growing on it. This is a blobfish. I might make the Sachi Hoko, or however you say it, might be the first stage for this line. This guy, you know what? This one needs a little slight update, so let me go ahead and fix him up real quick. I always called it burger sauce. I don't like mustard on my burgers. What do you guys think? That was something when I came to Florida that, you know, I noticed they would do here. And I don't like that. I don't like mustard on my burgers. I'll put mustard on my hot dog, but even then I still prefer, I could do both. I'd still prefer maybe ketchup on my hot dog. I do love sauerkraut on my hot dogs. But yeah, I don't like mustard on my burgers. It's got to be ketchup. The tone marking also works to look like Spartan helmets. Does it? Sick. I meant to do that. Also, another thing is all the eyes are stuff I still have to figure out. I want to do something with the eyes where in this version it looks a little digital. I've been leaning into giving them like regular kind of, you know, like what looks like physical eyes, but I've been making them a yellow color. All of them I've noticed have been yellow, and part of why I like the yellow is obviously a color that's not natural occurring in humans. So there's that, but it's also a bright kind of color, you know? Oh, look at this guy, he's so cute. So now he's got his totem mask, and as you can see, so I've made it so they're, just because they all have totem masks don't mean that they can't be unique and interesting ways to do it, right? A totem mask where the mushroom is the hat, pretty cool. So there you go, he's more aligned. Actually, I gotta bring you up. Again, today's gonna be a short chat, short stream. We're an hour in. I think I'm gonna stay on till 9. Okay, so we got another 45 minutes together, chat. Let's make the best of it. How's your hand doing? Thank you, Gabby. Sabo line. My personal favorite line of dinosaur, dragon. That's fire. I'm gonna stretch. Everyone, if you've been drawing with me, make sure you stretch with me right now. Hit those tendons in the forearms, all that. Let that sit for a little bit. Thank you, Gabby. I appreciate it. Some chimeras have multiple heads, such as having to go. Yeah, I don't like that. So I decided to, you know, just streamline it. You just turned that dog into a fish. I did. Yeah, it's the fur-bearing trout, which becomes a wolf, which is a perfect transition. And then finally, a wolf dog is the final form. I asked if there's a lore reason they first have a totem. I've been talking about it all stream too. It'd be brutal. I don't think that the blobfish thing is okay, what with it being a corpse. But here's the thing. You can be brutal, that's fine, but it's not a true blobfish. It's a Potempo. It's not a corpse. The real world is not the same in Potempo. We're in the world of Oragaya, not Earth. Ooh, that is good. Have you thought about the rarities between your Potempo? I haven't. Part of me thinks that maybe, in general, I think the third stages will be very rare. And obviously there'll be some that are more rare than others. But I don't know if I want to, like, do everything to the same level of Pokemon, right? People have asked me, are there going to be starters? There aren't going to be formal starters in mine. Are there going to be a pseudo-legendary? I don't know how many pseudo-legendaries or if there's going to be true pseudo-legendaries, again, in the way Pokemon does it. It's stuff that I have to really figure out down the line. I'm doing design first. Is the totem part will have markings and symbols? Absolutely. Then where we're talking about food, the crazy part is, Sketch, as soon as you say that, I can smell some delicious food coming out this way. It's killing me. Imagine stream ends up 2 hours. Yeah, it'll be just a little short of 2 hours. Later on, you should look at common shape language for design. I know you're still figuring it out, but you should get. I always do. I always do. No worries. Take care, Shady. Have a good one. So, everyone stretched up? Are we ready to jump back in? Yeah, I do think I might make this one. I made a blobfish, which kind of fit for the manatee. Chat, you know what? Maybe I will bring the Shuchi. Again, I keep messing its name. Is it Tsuchinoko or Hachinoko? And then I kind of make that the. I'll figure that out later. The wolf can have some black shuck inspiration. Ooh, what is black shuck? I'll mark that down. Because yeah, I do need to buff up the wolf design for sure. There's still plenty of stuff I have to do research on my own, right? I asked this question many times. If I ask, will Potempo series have a wizard as the professor? So it won't be a wizard, but I think you can probably say something along the lines of maybe like a scholar. It might be a mage. If anything, like I kind of want to make them like a series of archaeologists, you know, something like that, like some sort of professor, somebody that studies. It makes sense, right? So chat, originally I had this as a 3-stage line. Hell, I could still see it be a 3-stage, but I don't think it's super necessary. The owlbear isn't a super mythological, like high level kind of creature, and I kind of like seeing it in the world as, you know. So let me do something like this where I want to do the owl as the first form that's standing upwards, and then it becomes a 4-legged beast. There's a bigger jump there to me, which I like. So I'll scrap the bear. And chat, what kind of owl mythologies do we have? I already have an idea of what to do for this guy. Let's eat. I wish. I can only eat tomorrow. I gotta break my fast in the morning. So if I ask, will most first stage have a totem on their head? Yeah, I've mentioned it. All of them have totems on their head for the most part because it acts as a mask. You know? It's going to be a mask. It'll be awkward to be able to see their face if at any given time I moved it elsewhere. Because once it becomes a status quo, people expect to see it on the face. Now, maybe down the line, there might be moments that challenge the status quo, right? And when that happens, there has to be a good reason, right? A bit much of Noctowl, and I can't unsee it. Maybe, but unfortunately owls look so distinctive. I don't necessarily see it, but I don't remember Noctowl in my head entirely. But yeah, these are still very early on, so there's plenty of room and time to change it, so don't worry. Pow Pow is the owl god in Polynesian mythology. Again, I don't want to use for the first form like gods as the base forms, you know? Is it because they're both owls? I wonder why. You know, Ikea is the owl god that leads the soul of the dead. See, that sounds like something that I should make a second stage or a final stage. And here's the thing. At the end of the day, this guy might look like Owl Knight with these humongous eyes, but owls do have big eyes, so... At the end of the day, also, the thing is, it's not like I'm recreating these gods one-to-one, right? Like, they are definitely just inspired by the real world mythos, right? And that's all it is. And of course, you have to like pay homage and you know, pay respect as well. Yeah, this owl into owlbear will feel more impactful than a bear into an owl. It'll be a really fun delight for somebody who's not seen these designs, right? Yeah, I think yellow is really the color I'm feeling for many of my Potempo. The eyes, like they have. This is based off of Rory from The Garden Story, which is another one of my IPs. Even that owl design I designed for another IP, which was called Project Rago. Like this owl who was like this. He was just a regular bad guy minion, and I turned him into a main character. And now he's kind of like appearing as one of the Potempo, which is really cool. Fun fact: did you know that owls have asymmetrical ears? No, tell me more. Owlman is a Cornish folklore? What the? Wait, what's good with the asymmetrical ears? And what is Owlman like? Did you see the Digimon movie? It's only one of my all-time favorite anime movies. You could base an owl on a Keres. The owl got stumped, indeed. Big Hoot. Who's Big Hoot? And someone tell me who is Keres, on a Keres. Glauca meaning bright blue is the name of the owl of Athena. Ooh, that could be a... Ooh, unintentional. Maybe it could be a blue owl to reference, like... that owl. I have a bunch of birds, so I might need to, like, slow down on some birds. Because even for my unicorn line, I really do want to start out with a dove, because I'm gonna have it like be a Pegasus, which has wings. So some of it's all of its parts, right? Where the second one could literally be a dove into a horse into a Pegasus unicorn hybrid thing. Just because Pegasus by itself would just be kind of boring. It's just a horse with wings. Might as well just give him a, you know, something interesting. Okay. Ookpik is a popular Inuit handcraft toy. Mark Glauca here. Ookpik. Pairs like Valkyries, but Greek. I asked how you imagine the future timeline where the future paradox come from in Pokemon. The way I've done all my designs is that like it's all bad. Right? And like even Pokemon insinuates it, right? Where what happened in the future where Pokemon are being replaced by machines? Was there some sort of mass extinction and they've got to like try to create a new status quo? Was there like the ones that I created, all my mons are like, you know, they're fulfilling a niche because the Pokemon that used to do it are all gone, deceased, you know, endangered or left the world entirely. So I don't think it's pretty at all. In fact, it's even down to the name, right? Iron this, iron that, iron this, iron that. That is a straight up nod that even creativity dies in the future, right? It's everything is homogenized, everything is one and the same, right? Which is done so purposely. So there's even more of a juxtaposition against the very interesting and lively names more descriptive names. Even the designs are more colorful and fun for the past forms where they're like untamed by nature and evolution, right? The owlbear can be a cool take on griffins. I do have a griffin coming up. But yeah, it doesn't have to be, you know, something that I am trying to think about is where can I like change mythos to be my mythos, right? Another thing that I commonly say quite often is where can I subvert expectations, right? Like for example, I look at this bird right here, right? It's an amber bird, right? But I was thinking, chat, it might be really fun and cool to have a mosquito evolve into a terror bird. And that's like an obvious reference to Jurassic Park. But, you know, there's a lot of pop culture stuff in Potempo, but that is more in spirit with Potempo, where it's something crazy evolving to something, but there's a connective tissue. And that in the amber is maybe the genetic DNA and makeup of a Potempo. But I mean, it's not obviously in a scientific way like Pokemon evolves by evolution. It's more like, yeah, like I'm taking the spirit of something and it's unfolding. So I might straight up make this guy because, again, I have a lot of birds already. I remember a long time ago, someone was like, Bon, you don't got no bird Potempo. Now I got a ton of birds. So my brain runs the idea of hippogriff with bird and horse. Exactly, it's gonna happen. Deebs came in with the answer, chat. Who said blue owl? That owl can't wear my color. We don't do OVO. No more owls around here, even though I do love owls. Deeb says, gotcha info. The ears are asymmetrical, so the sounds reach each ear at different times. This is essential to identifying the exact direction of their prey. Damn. I'm into Walmart, Mothman, and Big Hood is another name for them. That's funny. The way I see it is that the past paradox is from a world where humans don't exist, and the future ones are from a world where Pokemon don't exist. Ooh, that's fire, Deebs. That's a sick theory. I would never in a million years think that. But that is cool. Would you make a Numamon, Sukamon type Digimon where they evolve due to not taking care of it well? I really don't want to do that. One, I feel like that would make people feel bad, and I'm not like trying to be like, oh, every kid has a participation trophy, whatever. It's not even that. I remember I got Numamon when I was a kid, and I didn't know why I got it. I'm just a kid, but I felt like I got punished. I'm like, dang, I wanted Agumon in my little Digivice. Why did I get this thing? And I didn't really understand. So I'm big on positivity. I think there might be a world where I could kind of make it work, where like maybe darker forces, but I don't even want to like broach that subject. The idea of Potempo is a lot about positivity. How do you bring out their potential? And it's through bonds, right? I saw Mega Evolution, was like, why the hell did y'all do that? And then I'm like, I'm gonna do it better. You know what I mean? Did you see the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny a long time ago, soon? Ruri writes, do you know owl ears are so large that you can see their eyes by looking into them? Oh, gross but cool. Terrorbird's fug, says Deebs right there. What if you add some yellow to the crescent eyebrow of the tome head? Yeah, that's true. I can absolutely, you know, that's true. I don't know why I didn't think to, ooh, you know what? If anything, it might not be yellow. It might be, where the hell, oh, here we go. It could be like a nod to the moon, right? And that pale blue that the moon has. And it could be something like that, right? And then I add these fun, like, shapes here. It could be maybe yellow here. There's definitely going to be fun ways that I can really dress up these Potempo, right? Love the mosquito to bird pipeline. Me too, man. I might just do that. You know what? I love this guy. Don't get me wrong, but that's what development looks like, right? Oh, thought I did something good. So let me bring him into the scraps. Chat, you know what's the cool part? I already have a mosquito. And it was a Fakemon that I made. Should I try and build it from that? Hello, Dark Absol. Welcome in. Been a while since I managed to catch one of these. I can throw animal names at you. I'm always down to hear animal names. Well, I'm not taking Potempo names, but if you're suggesting creatures that, you know, I need to design things for, sure. I do want to come up with the names. Try not to get sued by you guys. Digimon Evolution with the V-Pet? Yeah. Mosquito, that's different. We don't do different around here. So it's like most of the first stages are now godly mythos. No, what is that? Are not? Yeah. I definitely don't want the first stages. I don't want to disrespect certain cultures, right? Where I'm like, oh, I decided to make your god be the first stage. And then this other culture, their gods get to be the final, more powerful stages. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do all that. The blue moon's cooler? Hell yeah, brother. Oh man, I'm thinking there's some interesting mythological creatures. When I have to relook the Serpapard. Yeah, I've drawn a questing beast before. I think the questing beast is similar, if not the same. Yeah, my Potempo brain would say like a Serpapard is obviously a serpent that evolves into a leopard that evolves into a serpent leopard, right? Or whatever kind of 2-stage, 3-stage. I'm just going to update this design real quick. So in this one, this is the Abominable Snowman, chat, in case it wasn't clear. So he's going to be a thing where he's got snow piled up on him, on his thing. And so again, it's this fun thing where like just because I have you know, totems doesn't mean that creativity still couldn't live in these designs. You know what I mean? And in fact, in a cool way, and I don't even want to say limiting, because that's not entirely true, but it is in a way, by saying like, here are these boundaries, you have to make first stages adorable, full of potential, still be visually interesting, but you have to like block out their face, the thing that gives them the most expression. Challenge accepted, you feel me? So now that we have this rule where the eyes are kind of like yellow, maybe yellow is one of like the main Potempo colors. Again, another thing that kind of makes them all connected. I like that idea because whereas with Pokemon, it's like, oh, they evolved in a certain kind of way and yada yada yada. With Potempo, they're all spirits. They're all brothers and sisters, except they don't have gender. That spirits don't need gender. That makes no sense. The Abominable Snowman. But he's a baby, he's cute. Can't wait to do the second pass. It's gonna come out great. For all the designs, could you imagine? I'm making a lot of work for myself. 150 designs. As homage to the Go Pokemon that raised me. Listen, if you didn't like Power World, you're gonna love Potempo. As far as obviously like passion, love, things that Power World designs didn't get, Potempo is gonna get big fat kisses from me for each design. First form of the owlbear is so cute, hell yeah. It's actually from Egyptian mythos. A ghostfish Potempo would be interesting. There's plenty of cool yokai and stuff that for sure I can make that. So when they evolve, turn into a totem, will they have a totem form look like the first stage totem head or the totem? Could you restate that? I'm having a little trouble understanding that too. Will the totems be different colors? They might be. I've been playing around with that potentially. Like for example, I made a Wanaguchi inspired crocodile head. This was from I think not yesterday, the day before stream. So he's kind of got a greenish kind of thing with like a steel top. And he evolves into a Makara Gariel type of thingy. The idea of a major change Patel's connective tissue makes me think of evaporation for some reason. Maybe water-based creatures of land to water to air. That is a very nice setup. It's not anything I think I want to explore in my first batch, because I do have my first 150 kind of like mostly sorted, but that train of thought is very, very good. The questing beast is a terrible medieval description of a giraffe. Will there be devil Potempo? If so, will it be legendary? Probably not legendary. What about the Jersey Devil? I think someone asked about that earlier. No Jersey Devil here. But like I said, Mothman potentially. No face, no case. The ancient religions were cooking with their monster designs. Hell yeah. 22 creatures designed for my vertical slice and 4 model. Nice. Totally agree with boundaries making designs way more fun. Welcome in, Ryoma. Working within existing concepts, exactly. Yeah, and like above all, something that I had noticed, right? And look, I can like go up and down and I'm seeing all my cute baby Potempo. And look, I can find ways to subvert expectation. This one's head is covered in amber, right? I'm looking at the, oh, here's our next target. We got to fix up the worm. Chat, in the meantime, y'all look up worms in mythology. Otherwise, I have something called the Indus worm, which is from an Indian mythology that I can use. So no worries if there aren't any other worm mythos. But look how cool this is. That all the babies, these will need to be updated. Even this one is a turtle shell as a rice hat above his totem head. There is something really cool about the connective tissue. That was a word I saw earlier that I agree with wholeheartedly. That allow these designs to feel similar yet different. And then above all, look, when you see these designs, you're gonna be like, oh, that's Bonnie's Potempo. And that is super important for brand recognizability, right? If I'm pitching this to some, you know, hotshot exec in Hollywood or somebody, yo, I'm trying to make an anime or something, whatever it is. If the more I can do to create something that feels uniquely to me, right? The better. The absolute better. Because at the end of the day, look, people, I've heard so many people say they want to make their own monster tamer. Whether or not they stick to it, that's on them, right? Like, I don't have to worry about them. I got to do me, right? Above all. I would say that I want to, as important as it is to make my own monster designs and make them feel fresh, I want people to fall in love with my art style, right? My direction. I want them to understand why my evolutions look the way that they do, that there's something consistent about the way the final stages look, the way the babies look. If I don't do that, then I didn't properly do my job right, as the art director and the principal illustrator of this franchise, right? Let alone owner and creator of this franchise. I'll keep saying it. I don't give a fuck. I've seen this one person, many people, who will make a spin-off, right? Or not a spin-off, but they're like, I want to do my own thing. I want to make my own Pokemon. All right, no problem. I'm doing it. A lot of people are doing it. And then I'll see their character designs and their creatures. I'm like, they look like Sugimori style. They look and feel like that thing, but you change the name. At that point, like, yeah, you're not calling them Fakemon. That's fine, I get that. But to me, like, why even do all of that if you're still biting off the original? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say no disrespect, but like, I saw it and I was like turned off by it. I was like, okay, you're calling it this one thing, but it's so clearly unoriginal. Let me jump back here. I think the Luke called Potempo is still being made. Did someone ask about it? It's going to be the second stage for the Cthulhu design. believe it or not. You have to limit yourself to gens at this point in development. In a way, I do. Again, I can't pretend like I'm even owed a part 2 or a gen 2 or region 2, right? I would be blessed and lucky that I get this made. You know what I mean? Like, I would be so lucky. Creating a game, creating anything in this world where executives rule by numbers and everything, understandably, I'm not like, but everything is ruled by algorithms and the ability to make money and find an audience. I get it. So I can't sit here and pretend that like, oh, I'm owed a Gen 2. But I want to do my due diligence and make the best thing that I can for this part 1, right? And I'm taking my time developing out my decks, making a diverse, compendium of creatures from varying mythos, of various animals, mostly animals we haven't seen in Pokemon yet, right? Because I know people want to scratch that itch. And yeah, to me, I want to really make sure that I leave nothing but my best on the forefront of this project. But I have to be smart also. In the off chance this becomes real, I don't want to do a thing where it looks like I wasn't ready, because I do believe in myself. I do trust me to make the best decisions, at the very least design-wise, right? And so yeah, I've thought about, okay, I want to put these creatures in this first game because I want to, hit these checkpoints as far as representing and honoring mythologies from the world, right? I have Slavic mythos, Celtic mythos, obviously fantasy and medieval, pop culture mythos, right? Modern day mythology is pop culture. Marvel is modern day. Whether or not you like Marvel or not, I don't care. Not that I'm saying Marvel's here in my game, but we're watching modern day superheroes, right? Mythology. What are Hanuman, right? In Hindu mythology, is a superhero in his own right. So, it's so important to me to like make sure that I don't bite off more than I chew and act like I have a second shot. Right? I'm gonna do the best as I can, but I'm playing both sides of the field, so I always come out on top. So here's a potential version for this Potempo. It may not even need eyes. It could be an ode to the Doom Worm, and the fact that in general worms are blind, right? And maybe I can give him like just simple teeth, or I make him a white worm, which is the Indus worm was apparently this giant white worm, so to make him like a small one would be cute. There's a Minhakao Brazilian that is a giant worm, Mongolian death worm. Let's see here. Will there be different color totem? I think I answered that one. Lindworm is a worm that lizard dragon snake that only has 2 front limbs. Ooh, Lindworm. What number do you have in mind for the number Potempo? It's gonna be, I think, exactly 150 or 152 at most. To be fair, many people's art styles are directly influenced by Sugimori. Sure, but to be fair, to play devil's advocate here, the stuff that I've seen is 1-to-1. Like, I'm looking at like Sugimori's mirror copy, putting out these things, and they're like, it's this game. And I'm like, okay. I mean, yeah, do you, of course. But I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's one thing to be inspired. That's the case you're trying to make, but this is not inspired. It's like deadass 1-to-1, down to the shading, down to the way the humanoid characters look. And this is multiple. games, you know? Or concepts, I should say. At least on a worm is a crocodilian fish toad hybrid. Let's see here. Indus worm, it lives in rotten woods. I don't know how to describe it. You like Pagumon? Who is Pagumon? It's a crocodile worm in different story. It's very common in older myth. Yeah, that's true. Many myths have different look feels, right? Bonnie, are you interested in looking up death worm? Tell me about the death worm. Needogre is the dragon worm that chews on the roots. That would probably be too epic, I think, for it to be a baby worm. Mythology is multiple interpretation, absolutely. I don't think it matters if stuff is going to change. That's also true, but again, you have to like find that middle ground, right? Somebody's mythos or even religion, right? Or rather, somebody's mythos or culture could be somebody's religion. Even still, like, I know I'd be really annoyed if I saw people taking Hindu culture and then maybe making it seem weaker or not paying due respect, right? So I gotta be extremely... This looks like Chewbacca. It's Chewbacca, but not. Inspiration and imitation are two different things. Yeah, I'm so passionate I misspelled too. It's okay, Poppy. You're good. You're good. Exactly. It was like straight up imitation, bro. A lot of it. And that's not me saying like, I'm trying to be different by me. No, like this is just how I draw anyway. So, instead gone from being stuck in mac and cheese noodle to a churro. Ooh, I need a churro right now. Toxic invasive worm is another one. Toxic invasive. Would it be weird for the totem to be small and bent? It doesn't super match with everyone else. I think as long as it's covering its face, that's, you know, more important. But, you know, that's another thing, right? To what extremes can I go to differentiate things? I mean, as long as it isn't Pal World level where the designs themselves look like, I don't care if the art style matches, but that's just my take. Cool designs are cool designs. To each their own. As a creative, I'm just going to lose respect if, you know, you're going to be like, it's my own original thing. And then, like, you're using somebody else's art styles is somebody's personality. It's something they developed. You're using it to sell your cool designs. Like, that don't sit right by me. Imitation, that's practically plagiarism. You're gonna call your thing one thing, but it's not. It's kind of slimy to me. Would you still love Chewbacca if he was Worm? Hell yeah, I love Chewbacca. That's my boy. That's my dog. So did you watch the Ultimate Showdown on YouTube or Newgrounds? My boy, I seen it on Newgrounds. Not sure if you saw Minako. Yeah, I can't do that. Minako is way too big. Way too big for a baby worm, right? It don't gotta be a baby worm, but it's the first stage, right? Chad, I'm thinking it could be a cute worm design where it's like this. Where he's just on the ground. And like his head is like too heavy. So he's like this. I kind of like that. It's kind of cute. Oh, you know what? Even better? I really smush him up. Something like that. Like, he looks like toothpaste! He looked like toothpaste coming out. And he's like... You know what? He could still have eyes. Just because I'm basing him on a worm doesn't mean it has to be world. It's not a real worm. He's a Potempo, bro. He's a spirit. Yeah, this is a really cute idea. And then I'll still give him like the earthworm, whatever that pink shit is that they have. They always have that little kind of thing. My issue with Fakemon artists insisting on Sugi is that they all lose their individual identity. As I see 1,000 Fakemon a day, I have no idea. Exactly. And look, I say this as someone who was doing Sugi style, right, for a minute. Guess what? The moment I stopped doing that, oh my god, it reinvigorated my love for Fakemon. So even when you saw that Spindo Evo earlier, right? Spindo Evo earlier. That's me getting to be me, but still paying homage to Pokemon. And then Potempo was me truly being me, right? Because within reason, I still push the designs to still kind of, in a way, at least feel like Pokemon, because I'm trying to make evolutions or creatures that live in that world. But with Potempo, I can certainly do more, right? For myself. So you know what? This could be like maybe my Magikarp of mine, where it's like this really cute little creature, and then it evolves into a big Doomworm type of bro. But again, I still kind of need. If you want it to be goofy, maybe since it's blind, it's not covering its face. Oh, that would be cute. Like it missed its face, yeah. But I think for the sake of like consistency, it would make a ton of sense to, you know, he's not a true earthworm, right? He's a Potempo. So I'll give him a cute little face. He don't gotta be anything crazy, right? Have you seen Baby Chewbacca? No, I need to see that. That'd be mad cute. That would be mad cute. Ooh, maybe? I kind of want to do... Oh, you know what? I can have his face be covered with a lot of dirt on the ground because he's like slithering all the time. So you see, so his kind of thing, maybe it's just about the paint and that like he's picking up a lot of stuff. They're reinventing the wheel. The other style I like is Digimon. Probably I'm into edgy and cool stuff. Who isn't? Is imitation flattery or thief? I think when you're trying to make your own product and you're like, this is my own thing, but you look like the brand, is that not what, you know, Power World was doing? Right? Power World, they intentionally look like Pokemon, right? And then some, right? Plagiarism be damned. And it became popular in the beginning, and I'm sorry if I get heated, but this is art styles are like the signatures of human being, and that's why people was really angry at Power World in the beginning, right? Like when it came out, because it's like you're straight up stealing like models, it looks like, right? That's one thing, but the only reason why you're anything is because your creatures look like Pokemon. And that's the only reason why you got a fair shake at a world where creatives are struggling to get their shit seen at all. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at, when I'm looking at these kind of people are trying to make, you know, their own thing, but then I'm like, it's one thing if you're inspired by it. But if you ain't tell me what your thing was called, I'm like, oh, look at this Fakemon, you know, or this ROM hack that's going to be a thing. You feel me? Sent you Baby Chewbacca, thank you, thank you. Tempted to animate this worm guy. I don't want you guys to like do any fan art or animations yet because there's still so much I gotta figure out. Part of me wants to just leave it literally as regular worm is the inspiration. Just because I think that juxtaposition where he becomes a giant dune worm is tight. You know, like not every design gotta be crazy. I said this yesterday, or the day before, excuse me. If anything, I can always add, you know, like color this way. Right? He's a fun little design. He ain't anything crazy. That's all he gotta be. I do love my little guy here. That was like a really fun concept. It was an earthworm that became a mole rat, and then it became the Doomworm, and all three are blind, right? So I think that's great. All right, let me go ahead and add where's my Doomworm? Where'd he go? Oh, there you go. It's my fault. Here we go. I'll put you here. What I'll also do... Oh, it's 8:55. Chat, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Did I do all the... I have to get going and continue to work on the vid for Sunday. Hopefully I can get it out Sunday. I did a good chunk. We redid this guy. His totem looks great. I'll probably make this guy Mosquito later. Redid this guy. Redid that guy. Fixed him up a little bit. I'm gonna readjust this guy because right now he's just a blobfish kind of thing, but there's not too much inspiration after. This guy came out really sick. This guy's so cool. The fur trout. I gotta give him a little more personality right here. Cool. Yeah, I'll let this rock, chat, and we'll chat for the last 5 minutes. You guys can tell me what you're doing for. Oh look, there he goes. This was so I had the worm evolve into. So I had the worm evolve into this guy. So this would work in a Pokemon sense. I mean, it would still be weird as far as Pokemon, but yeah, all this kind of scrap stuff always has chances to come back as different things. At the very least, I can put cool stuff in like an art book would be really cool. You know what? I'll just even move this take because again, I have like a lot of birds now. And then if I decide, oh, I don't want the other thing to be a bird, I can bring back birds and adjust them and whatnot. Yeah, I'll keep it like this. We could just keep that up and chat for the last 5 minutes. Ooh, wait, I gotta bring Chewbacca worm. Scrap. Hey, Sketch, I'm not reading that. Let me go back. Do you know Cold Seal the Hedgehog? I think I do. I think so. I've been told my rendering with the Pokemon vibe without actually looking at it. That's literally the Mongolian Deathworm. It's all there. Perfect. I would love if animated the mask would flip around backwards at times. We don't need to go to that room. Tempted to animate. Bonnie just sent you, baby. Looking at the creature also related to Greek Jastio, there's Ratoskir. Described as a squirrel, the name has a basis of drill, bore, tooth, and traveler. Ooh. It's true. It could be. It doesn't have to be a worm that evolves into a giant worm. It could. Doesn't matter. Apologies, says Kofi, for what? Never need to apologize. Boring idea, but would there ever be streams focused on other aspects? Oh yeah, Kofi, without a doubt, it's happening sooner than you think. I want to be working on not just the creature designs, but human designs. It's been a while since I've done that on stream. I want to design things like accessories and props and environments for sure. So please look forward to it. Rec writes, okay, so you made me think about it more, and yeah, I get your point. I guess I'm just trying to give credit to monster tamers I've played that are more than just the monster designs. Yeah, but see, that's the gameplay. I'm referring to people who abuse, essentially plagiarizing a style and then selling it as their own. Just cringe at it. Yo did a dodo. Just doing a worm I think is fine. I didn't do a dodo, did I? No, I mean like a rough animation, like how it moves. Yeah, feel free. Yes, their art style is different. There you go. That's the thing. Their art style is different because they know they want to be different. And they can be inspired by something. Imitation is a different story. I imagine almost a squirrel that gains sharp drill or corkscrew parts at full power. Draco writes, okay, I doubt this would ever happen, but if you had to choose a Star Wars creature, woo-wee, I feel like if I was trying to pay homage to Star Wars, one of my all-time favorite things in the world, I think it would need to be the most iconic thing. Because, like, the Dune worm's the most iconic thing from Dune. I'm basing Godzilla, King Kong, and Cthulhu concepts, right, from their respective worms. Worms? Worlds. I've been working on worms. It would probably be the concept of the Force as the whole, which I think is owned by a lot of things in the world. That's just mana, right? Even in Polynesian culture is basically the Force. In Hinduism, the concept of karma and recycling energy is basically the Force. So if I say the Force, it's a vague answer. Maybe Darth Vader would be the most iconic thing, but how do you even do that, you know? Is it maybe an iconic ship? I love the X-Wing. You know, maybe it would have to be like maybe lightsabers, right? Could be the most iconic visual thing. Yo, Bonnie, what's up, Justin? Mongolian Deathworm in my heart. Let's see. That's okay. Ask me. I can take criticism. Sorry, I was gone. Any update? I've updated quite a few designs as I end up as I start wrapping up stream. It's now 9 a.m. my time. Today was a short stream. Again, I usually take Friday off, but since I missed yesterday and wanted to do something like this, it was long overdue. I can definitely work on more of this stuff on stream, right? As I'll continue to find more and more inspiration, right? Call it Chew Worm. Very cute name. What happened to the dodo? Did I have a dodo? Oh, that dodo. It wasn't a true dodo, but I'm going to, I think, make it an amber mosquito. And have that evolve into the terror bird. That to me is a far more interesting through line because we have a lot of birds. I have the bird line for the harpy and Garuda. I have the owl that evolves into the owl bear. I have the pigeon Potempo that evolves into the plague rat or the plague doctor. I have a potential dove who will become a horse who becomes, you know, the Pegasus, right? Because Pegasus has the big wings and like they're usually seen as white, so white dove, which is a symbol of peace. And the unicorn Pegasus are very pure of heart animals. So I have a lot of birds already. I might even straight up change the bird from the bird line there, which would be kind of silly and strange because it's a very bird related line, but I like to subvert expectations, so we shall see. I think Palworld needs the elements of Pokemon since it's fully intended as a parody of it, although I do wish, but the thing is, they really did start adding in a whole bunch of different features, so it's really only the design of the creatures that are like Pokemon, because the human designs are one thing, but then they're holding like what clearly looks like ripped assets of realistic guns. All the design elements are so haphazardly put together, there's no spirit or soul in it. So it just feels wrong to shoot at the Pokemon. It just seems like, I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. I don't find it funny. I guess it's for people who hate Pokemon or something. It's like, I don't want to shoot Pokemon. I want to, and that's why I make it Potempo. I want to give you creatures that you want to befriend, and that's how they get stronger. That's in the theming, you know? The Amber-headed, gotcha, answered that one. The Amberbird can make for a cool Microraptor. It could be for a future one where it's a more like scaly kind of thing, but bird into bigger bird, it's kind of losing the spirit, you know? The Terror Bird will stay, so don't you worry. Space Templars, pretty much. Lightsabers are probably most iconic. Yeah, Deebs, I think you're right. Worming his way into our minds. After you drew some Potempo, will you make a few humans? Yeah, I mean, I've already done that, and that's why I for sure I want to hit up more outside kind of stuff, right? Hell, you know what, chat? Since we've been talking about it, I think it is a good time for me to revisit human designs very soon. It might be time because I do need a break from monster designs before I get burnt out, which is why, by the way, I've been working on Pokemon videos, which is funny, right? Working on Pokemon videos to balance out my own monster tamer stuff. I subjectively said that in his making humans in the Mazda region video. What specifically? You make a humans due to them being important for sure. Have you done a Thunderbird at all? Could be idea of a bird stuck in a trunk when it evolves having it be a Thunderbird. That is a cool idea. I have something called the Impundulu, which is an African Thunderbird. So it'll be really cool. What else? So long as it's really great that you're branching out into making your own thing rather than forcing yourselves. Yeah, exactly. And I'm very grateful and thankful that people want to see Potempo, right? It'd be one thing where, oh, hey, yo, Astral Guardian, thank you so much for the dono. I appreciate you. Oh my God, mwah to you. Thank you so much, you legend. Astral Guardian chipping in 679 there. The message reads, well, it was nice to hang out, see the changes, attempt to assist in giving Mythos and other bases. Here's something of a tip. Thank you so much for you. That is so kind. I haven't had a dono in a while, and don't ever feel pressured, chat. I love just hanging out with you guys, but of course I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hello to our mod Jay. Welcome in, JB Me. It's been a minute. It's good to see you. I was honestly thinking the Rancor, Mythosaur, the Crate Dragon, or even the Mandalorians as the Star Wars Potempo. Yeah, again, that could be further down the line, but yeah, even any of those, I just feel like... I mean, yeah, like, I guess the Rancor would probably be the most iconic of that batch, right? Well, no. Well, they got their own worm, right? Mythosaur is a pretty big one, right? The Mandalorian. But befriending fantastical creatures Pokemon enough. Can't wait for the lore videos. Oh man, I can't wait to write it. Love a cryptid hunter. I think having them be a cataloger would be really cool. Only working on Potempo lore videos. A surprise to Bonnie, don't tell yet. That woman with the... Let's go. There goes chat. Let's see. Woman with the red hair streak reminded me of one character from Kill La Kill. Yeah, what's her name? Ryoko. But cool. Chat, we're at 1:53. We're just about done for the day. It's 9:06 now my time, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. What an awesome way to end the night. Thank you so much for the dono again, Astro. Seeing Cole's comment reminds me of a game I played that does sort of have cryptid-like creatures called cassette bees. Yeah, I've heard about. You guys have told me. There's a really cool cryptid in Colorado called the Slide Rock Bolter. I mean, honestly, that name sounds so sick that I'm just marking it down on the side here for me anyway. Oh shoot, actually by accident I deleted a lot of the old... Oh, thank God. And yeah, let's start wrapping it up. Chat, thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate y'all. I hope you had fun today, this Friday, as we start moving in towards the weekend. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend planned. Be easy, be well. Don't do anything crazy. All right? Slide Rock Bolter. What a cool name. Too big! Indeed. You ever think the villain in Potempo? I know exactly who the villain in Potempo is. Would you play cassette beats? Maybe sometime far down the line. Take care. Please recover, Draco. Take care of yourself. But yeah, hopefully you get to play your game tune. Yeah, Jay, today is a short one. In fact, I don't normally even stream on Friday, but I had to do it for y'all one time. Guys, have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging out with me, Mr. Bonny John, aka Professor Bodhi. Once again, big shout outs to Astral Guardian. Chat, give it up for Astral. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you to everyone who's supporting me. Just by being here with me is supporting me. Make sure you leave a like on the way out if you want to leave a comment on the VOD so I can see thoughts about what you thought about, you know, any of the conversations of today. It doesn't even have to be Potempo related. It could be art style related, whatever it was. Take care. Be well. Have a wonderful